Okay, we are going to add to the home page that we have something like this, where you have a full screen image. Now again, the original way we did this was using the HTML tag, and it just doesn't work. It gets in the way of the container above it, I think. So I have a new way, so you'll have to watch that, where we create a container. We use the word container in the class name, but we also give it a, let me go to it right here, a container, a word called wrapper. So we're using container fluid, which means it goes all the way across the page. There's no gutters on the left or the right, empty space. Goes all the way. And then we give it a word called wrapper. And then in a separate CSS file, we talk to wrapper, and we give it a height of 100 VH, vertical height, minimum height, background image. We place the background image in that area. Background size is cover, so it covers the whole thing. It's centered in the position, and it doesn't repeat. Very simple, but it does work. Okay, so we are going to add some text. And I'm going to have you do a couple font faiths where I'm going to give you font files, and you're going to place them where your web page is. So if I go into downloads, I'm going to give you all these different fonts I've downloaded. I have a subscription, a year subscription, just for me. Just for the teacher, but I can get a hold of all these fonts and different things. So I'm going to choose the headline, I think. Oh, let's see here. Maybe I won't. I might go with something like this, and I'm going to give you all these different files in a zip file called fonts. You can download them and use any of them. So what I like to do is I'm going to grab this. See the long name? Now you want to keep it an OTF file. You can't change the file type, but we're going to keep it .otf. And I think, I don't know, I kind of like that one too. I'll go with that one. So I'm going to hit the Enter key. See how it keeps the OTF? And I'm going to say home font. So I just renamed it. And I'm going to copy it. I'm going to click on it and go Command-C to copy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this is the file we're working on here. Here's our home page. And I can, maybe what's be nice to do is make a new folder and call it fonts. Oops. And we'll store all of our fonts in here. And I'm going to click it, Command V. So it's home _ font, all lowercase. Notice there's no space. I have an underscore, .otf. All right? To make it easy. Now, we're going to place some, again, we're going to place some text here that says my name and says portfolio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, here's my large image place from the container. Here's a row, empty row, and then close the row, close the container. So remember, it's container, row, and column. So what we're going to do is a little different on this. We're going to say div class. We've done that a lot before. And I'm going to say call MD, that's medium break, for and then a space. And then I'm going to say call dash MD dash offset dash 4. So what this is doing is, remember 12 is our magic number. We're going to have column 4 of something, but the first 4 columns are going to be clear, and the second 4 columns after this column is going to be clear. So we're going to have column 4 with something in it. We'll have a column 4 before it on the left with nothing in it, and then we'll have a column 4 on the right with nothing in it. So it's a little different. Now we also want to add a space and add the text dash center. Okay, and again, what I want to do is, before I do anything, well, maybe I haven't done it yet. I want to close off the column before I put anything in it. I always like to do that. So we have a container, a row, and then a column 4. And again, we're doing something different. So we're saying that also. And the offset means it's going to be, and so there's going to be some empty columns. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, we're going to do H1, and, H1 class equals, and we're going to give it a class name of name. And I'm going to give them my name. You're actually going to use your name there. Okay. And then I'm going to hit the return key, and I'm going to do H1 class equals word. You can call it whatever you want, but I like to keep it simple. And the word's going to be portfolio. And then we're going to close the H1. Okay, so that's what we did. Okay, now if you right click and go reveal in Finder and double click it, they're right up there. They're actually under my name is under the navigation. So we haven't done anything to it, but we are now. So I'm going to go over to this file called home.css, and the only thing in here is talking to the wrapper and placing the background image nice and center and covers the whole area. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to this, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add that font face, that file that I put in a folder called fonts. So it gave me two, so I have to take one away. And I'm going to go src:/URL, and in the parentheses, we're basically telling it where it is. So right now, this CSS file is in a folder called CSS. We actually want to go up a level, so .. which means get out of this folder, CSS folder, and go up a level. And when you go up a level, there should be a folder called fonts, I believe. And then I think I called it homefont.otf. Okay. Now I didn't put it in quotation marks or anything, so we'll see. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I will try that. And then what we're going to do is, now we're going to, whenever the computer sees this font-family, and we'll call it home. Whenever it sees this, it will load this. Okay, that's how it works. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk to .name, the class name for my name, right here. And we are going to say font-family home. So it should see that. Now again, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't need quotation marks. So we will try that. Let me save it. I'm going to come over here, reveal in Finder, and I can't tell. So hang tight here. I'm also going to give it a color of white. Okay. Now, give me just a second here. We're going to do a couple more things. I'm going to hit the Enter key. And we're going to talk to Word here. And we're going to say .word. And the word is the word portfolio. Font dash family home. Okay. And then color white. All right. And then we're also going to go back here to our HTML, and we're going to add, so we can talk to this column here, this column 4. We're going to add one more class name called both. And what that means is it's going to do something to both the name and the word. So both. And then I'm going to go over to my extra little CSS file here. And let me get it up so you can see it. I'm going to say .both because it's a class name. And sorry, we're going to say background. We're going to color the background, and we're going to do an RGBA, red, green, blue, alpha. And we're actually going to make it 100, sorry, 100. And then it's going to be 0.5 or 6. I put 6, but you know, it doesn't matter. And then here's the most important part. We're going to bring it down from the top, because right now it's stuck under the nav. We're going to say margin dash top, just the margin for the top, 300 px. And if you save it, so that's what I have, name, word, and both. And again, both is the column that has name and word in it. And again, we don't know if we need quotations in this yet, so we might. So let me save it and refresh it. And it is not coming down here. Maybe I didn't save it. Let's see here. Maybe I didn't save it over here. Let's try it one more time here. Yeah. Now it's not, I don't think it's grabbing the file. So let me go back here, go over to my CSS file, and here it is. Here's the font face here. And let me make sure that I called it fonts. Just a second here. So reveal in Finder, fonts, and then home underscore font OTF. So, okay, I got it correct. I always like to check that first because I could have said font or whatever. But let me put this in quotation marks. Now see how it does a double? It's trying to help you. So we'll go to the end here and put everything, because that way, and the quotation marks basically tells the computer to read it as text. So we'll come back here. No, I guess it's grabbing it. Now again, I'm giving you lots of different fonts to use, but it should look something like that. And that pretty much is just the basic home page. A lot of times home pages now are super minimal. They don't say a lot. The big page we're going to do is the work page next. So it should look something like that. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a zip file of all these fonts here. I will put them in a zip file and load them up. And again, what you want to do is just look around and pick one. And then I always like to, rename it. Keep the OTF or the TTF or whatever it is. Now there are some files in here with the WOF, and I've never used those before. So you could try that and see if the computer recognizes that file type. I've always used OTF and TTF, so I was a little taken back to see that. But again, I'm giving you different types of fonts. So there you go. Thanks.